What's up, guys? Ryan MacCarthy here with LowKick MMA. Joined by me today is Cory McKenna. How are you, Cory?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, good, guys. Cory's going to be fighting this weekend on UFC Vegas 13, I believe. Felder versus Dos Anjos. You'll be at least what it looks like right now, main eventing the preliminary round on ESPN Plus. At least that's what it looks like to me. But I'm not too sure if that's announced yet or not. But you will be you'll be fighting a tough opponent in Kay Hansen here, Cory. So how's the preparation been, with COVID and everything? How's everything been, in preparing for K?
To be fair, it's not been too different to other fights in regards to COVID and stuff. Obviously, being nice and careful and staying with the same sort of training partners. But other than that, I've been at Team Alpha Male as I have with obviously a lot of my previous camps. I've actually moved out there full time now, so that's been cool. That I've been there for the entire process. I've been there since my last fight, so it's been 3 months. Yeah, and I've just literally been in the gym all day, every day, getting ready. So
For
it's been
sure.
good.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, that was actually, my next question here was you're based out of the UK. That's where you're from. It's where you're born and bred. And so you have moved over to Team Alpha Male full time here now.
Yeah,
Cool.
I moved out there after my last fight.
Cool. And was that something that was, you knew was coming, or did it kind of, happen pretty quickly for you? It's a weird time to, be moving around, but of course, alpha male is. I'm sure that was a tough, that's a great opportunity for your career.
Yeah, like you say, it's kind of always been a bit of a down the line goal for me. The contenders opportunity opened a lot of doors in terms of visas, like travel restrictions, and stuff like that. So it it has always been in the plan, but it was definitely kind of a short notice. The actual move itself ended up being rather short notice, but yeah, it's always been one of my goals to get out there full time.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of just jumping off of that, you started your career in Cage Warriors, a decently well-known promotion. You just had 5 fights there before signing up for Dana White's Contender Series, of course, in which you competed and won in August. So why was that you only decided to do your 5 fights in Cage Warriors and then try and make that step up into competition with the UFC?
Um, to be honest, like I say, with the women's division, obviously, uh, like our careers progress a lot faster. Like you look at a lot of the records of the other women in UFC, they're all at the same sort of level. I'd competed against pretty much all the top talent in Europe. Even at amateur, like a lot of people sleep on the fact I've had a very extensive amateur career, and again fought all of the top talent in Europe in that regard. So for me, it was kind of like it was the next step up. Uriah got me the opportunity. Jack, my manager, said it was a good opportunity, so we went for it. Really, it's not. It wasn't necessarily a case of I want this many fights in Cage Warriors and then step up. It was just a case of whatever the best opportunity to come around is. And I hadn't fought for 18 months, so I was also at the point where I would have taken anything, to be honest. I just really wanted to fight. Like you say, it was a great opportunity for me, so just jump straight in there.
For sure. And was there any temptation to maybe stay back for in Cage Warriors to try and maybe win a belt or two, or was that any temptation for you at all to stay back?
Nah, like Kagera is a great promotion. Obviously, like the best promotion in Europe. It's been a great platform for me and provided a lot of opportunities. But in terms of belts and stuff, that's not really what motivates me. For me, it's just a case of getting the best fights against the best girls, putting on solid performances, and kind of just proving to everyone that I'm going to be the best one day. So just working hard and make sure I'm getting the best fights available for me. I'm not too worried about belts and titles and stuff like that. Like I say, I just want to fight and show everyone what I'm working on.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of going off that, like I said before, you jumped from Cage Warriors, you went to Dana White's Contender Series. In August, you picked up a win over Vanessa Demopoulos, and you got that UFC contract. And you're young, you're only 21 years old. So have you had time to reflect on that performance after you've won that contract?
Yeah, like obviously I've watched the fight a couple of times. We actually went back to the hotel and watched it that night. You know, we straight on it, always looking to improve, always making those steps forward. But yeah, there was like plenty of mistakes made in the fight, plenty of stuff to work on. Obviously, it was a great opportunity for me. It was a good performance in terms of getting the win and everything. And like I said, I took it on short notice. It was a bit chaotic even just getting there. So I'm happy with, circumstantially, I'm obviously happy with the performance, but I really intend to put on a much more solid display on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. And how was the experience as a whole going into the Contender Series? I'm sure that was a different feel from where you fought before with Cage Warriors. Were you confident enough after the fight that you did enough to impress Dana to get the contract as well?
I definitely would have liked to finish. Obviously, especially with that promotion, that show, it's the big finishes and stuff that kind of catches his eye. But at the same time, like we discussed, I think he said it afterwards as well. I've already kind of fought the who's who. Like Vanessa was the toughest opponent, like the highest ranked opponent outside of the UFC. She's the LFA champ and everything. So for me, it was a case of where would I go if I didn't. I think like you said, I beat a tough opponent. Might not have necessarily got the finish, but I definitely think I proved that I was at the level to step in there.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of going into this Saturday with Kay Hansen here. She's a decently well-known name. She had a good career in Invicta. She's 1-0 in the UFC. She had fought in June. She did win by submission. I wanted to get your thoughts on her going into this fight. She's only 21 herself. So you're both super young, 21 years old. Were you surprised to be matched up with her this early on, or
not really. Like, it's a good fight. It's marketable. Like you say, we're both young. We're both up and comers. We both, again, got an extensive career. Like, I always say I don't put much weight into age because, there's 30-year-old women out there that have been doing it for a year. And then there's people like me and Kay that have been doing it for most of our lives. So, I don't really, in regards to age, that doesn't make a difference or like really play into it for me. But Kay's got a lot of experience. She's got decent striking. She's competent on the ground. So I think it's going to be a great fight for me technically, and also it's going to be a good opportunity for us to both put on a skillful performance and kind of show everyone, like I say, this next level is coming through, the well-rounded kind of complete mixed martial artist. It's not your conventional striker versus grappler or anything like that. Like, I think we're both very well-rounded fighters, both very stubborn, very very eager. So I think it's going to be a really entertaining fight, to be honest.
For sure. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And how about your route to victory? Do you see a path to victory here, or maybe even a prediction here in what you think happens on Saturday?
No, not really. Like I say, I'm confident wherever it goes. I've been training every single discipline. I've been training like every aspect of my game. So whether it stays on the feet, whether it goes to the ground, like I'm confident either way. Obviously, I'll be hunting for that finish. So obviously I'm gonna predict a stoppage, but however it comes, it comes.
Yeah, for sure. And then kind of going off of that, kind of outside of fighting, in your life, we know that you like to paint. You're very talented, from what I know, from what I've seen as well. Is that something you want to pursue, besides fighting, or maybe outside of your fighting life?
I mean, it's a nice little hobby. I've sold a couple of pieces now and stuff, which is pretty cool for me. Like, it's not. I've always kind of loved like drawing and painting and everything since I was a kid. So yeah, it's pretty cool for me. But like, it's not something I would do as necessarily a career. I love fighting too much.
Yeah,
It's just a bit of downtime for me, just something to relax between sessions.
for sure. Well, you're extremely talented. You're way better than I could ever paint or draw or anything, honestly.
Thank you.
So in kind of going off that, I mean, you're in the UFC now. Short-term goals. Do you see a path, after K? Besides of course, like getting the dub on Saturday and then kind of going off of that. Do you think you'd fight in early 2021? Do you have a path afterward? Do you think?
Like I say, it's all very circumstantial, obviously, with this sport.
Sure.
Unfortunately, it's very, things can change very quickly. But providing that I go out there, put a solid win on Saturday, I'm feeling good. I'd like to stay really active. I intended to have like at least 3 or 4 fights the last couple of years, and it's just kind of not really gone that way. So in my mind, I'm a little bit behind where I'd like to be. So if I can go out there and come out without any injuries and everything, I'd maybe even like to squeeze another one in at the end of the year.
Sure.
I actually had an 18-month layoff between my last fight and Contenders, so I'd like to, like say, stay active, make sure I'm getting in there, like fighting these good girls, and showing everyone that I'm kind of where I'm meant to be.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, you had that 18-month layoff. That's super long. In the fight game for sure. Is that something you weren't a fan of, or do you prefer staying pretty active? Fighting every few months.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I've been competing for pretty much probably the last 10 years. As a junior, I was competing pretty much every weekend in jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing. So staying active is kind of, it's a habit of mine. But at the same time, like that 18-month layoff didn't go to waste. I did 2 back-to-back camps. I was in the gym all day, like regardless of whether I had a fight. Even during the lockdown, like it was a lot stricter back home. Like all the gyms were shut and everything, but I was still training at home like 2-3 times a day. So I was making those gains and making those the skill improvements and developments as well. So, it's never a waste of time. Like I might have a layoff between fights, but I'm never resting. I'm never taking downtime. I'm always making sure I'm improving. So if anything, it just makes the next performance that much better.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully, anyway.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. And kind of, I like asking people outside of the women's strawweight division, which you'll be fighting in this weekend. Do you have a favorite weight division in the UFC that you prefer watching, or men or women? Do you have one that you specifically like more than the others to watch?
Not really. Like I said, I think you take like good things away from every fight. Obviously learn a lot watching all the cards. I do definitely like the smaller guy divisions, maybe like the 25ers, 35ers, like very very scrambly. But I kind of like that style, as opposed to the big sluggers. That's not really my style. But
Sure.
like you say, like there's every fight's got something to offer and something to learn from. So I enjoy watching all of them.
Yeah, for sure. Couldn't agree more. And before we head out of here, I love asking people if you win on Sunday, or when you win on Saturday, sorry. What are you eating afterwards? You got a cheat meal afterwards for a post-fight celebration?
So I usually have a bottle of orange juice. That's been pretty consistent through my whole career. So probably a bottle of orange juice and some cookies. So yeah, nice and exciting.
That sounds delicious. I love it. But yeah, anything before we head out, anything you want to plug, social media or anything like that?
No, just a quick thank you to my sponsors. Got them on here. Franklin Group. They fund my camps. I got Q&T for my supplements. Tommy Fightwear for my kit. I'm managed by Stone Sports Management. He's awesome. Obviously, all my teammates and training partners at Team Alpha Male. Like the support's unreal that I get. And there's not enough time in the day to express my gratitude to everybody. So I'd just like to thank everyone for the support, really.
For sure.
Oh, and
I did want to ask actually, your thoughts on Uriah Faber. He's obviously a key proponent in Alpha Male. Everyone knows. You're of course working with him on a daily basis, I'm sure. How's it been like working with him? He's a legend in the game, well-known name, of course. What's that been like working under him?
Oh, he's amazing. You know what I mean? Like I'm constantly singing his praises. He's probably one of the most selfless people that I know. Like you say, I'm working with him on a daily basis. He's coming in the gym still for camp. He's literally just had another child.
Yeah.
So no one really goes out their way like he does. He's constantly texting me, checking up on me. He's in the gym. Like you say, the last few camps or a couple of years ago, I was staying at his house. He really kind of took me under his wing and he put a lot of time and effort into me. So I really hope that I can go out there and show him that it's all all worth it. But yeah, I absolutely adore Uriah. He's amazing.
I do too. But yeah, for sure. He's definitely one of the legends in the sport, and that must be awesome to be with Team Alpha Male here. So I'll be rooting for you this Saturday. here, Cory. But yeah, I mean, like I said, thank you for giving us some time here. We really appreciate it, and I look forward to speaking with you after your win on Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, Cory McKenna, she'll be fighting Kay Hansen on a very exciting women's strawweight fight this Saturday on ESPN Plus in the prelims. I'll be watching. Hope everyone else will be. So thanks for giving us some time, Cory. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot, Cory. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.